wrongs, I have just begun.
Hello guys, welcome in Gamero. In this video we will know top games on October 2017. There are many places to explore across Hanwell. Each location a fully realized environment with its own backstory and secrets to discover. All connected by the remnants of Hanwell. Take on Hanwell, see the sights and finally gain entry to the infamous Hanwell Council of Public Protection to uncover the secrets of what happened. Assassin's Creed Origins is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Ubisoft, Montreal and published by Ubisoft. It is the 10th major installment in the Assassin's Creed series and the successor to 2015's Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It is scheduled to be released worldwide on October 27, 2017, for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The game is set in ancient Egypt during the Ptolemaic period and recounts the secret, fictional history of real-world events. The story explores the origins of the centuries-long conflict between the Brotherhood of Assassins, who fight for peace by promoting liberty, and a secret cabal forerunners to the Templar Order desire peace, through the forceful imposition of order. Assassin's Creed Origins is an action-adventure stealth game played from a third-person perspective. Players complete quests linear scenarios with set objectives to progress through the story, earn experience points and acquire new skills. Outside of quests, players can freely roam the open-world environment on foot, horseback, camelback or boat to explore locations, complete optional side and unlock weapons and equipment. Middle-earth: Shadow of War is an action role-playing game developed by Monolith Productions and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. It is the sequel to 2014's Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, and was released worldwide for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on October 10, 2017. Shadow of War continues the previous game's narrative, which is based on J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium and set between the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Like its predecessor, the game also takes heavy inspiration from director Peter Jackson's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings film adaptations. The player continues the story of the Ranger Talion and the spirit of the elf Lord Celebrimbor, who shares Talion's body, as they forge a new ring of power to amass an army to fight against Sauron. The game builds upon the Nemesis system introduced in Shadow of Mordor, allowing Talion to gain followers from several races of Middle-earth, including Ruks and Outlaws, and plan out complex strategies using these to complete the game's multiplayer. Features a social conquest mode, in which players are able to invade other players' fortresses and attempt to conquer them. This mode has two settings: friendly and dragon. Friendly allows the player to invade someone's fortress, without the risk of losing your army. Rank, on the other hand, allows the player to invade, but with a risk of losing some of their orc followers permanently. Evil Within 2 is an upcoming third-person survival horror video game developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda Softworks for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It is the sequel to the 2014 video game The Evil Within. Similar to its predecessor, the game is a survival horror game. Played from a third-person perspective, the player assumes control of Detective Sebastian Castellanos, who must descend into the world of Union to rescue his daughter, Lily. There are 3 difficulty modes, namely Casual, which producer Shinji Mikami recommends, 4, Survival, and Nightmare. 5. In The Evil Within 2, maps are larger and there are multiple ways for players to advance in a level. The player is also given an item known as the Communicator, which helps to highlight the objectives, resources, and enemies featured in the game's world. It will also reveal resonance points, which provides hints regarding what had happened in the world of Union. Players can explore the map area freely to complete side objectives and scout for resources, which are scarce. Players can engage in direct confrontation with enemies using weapons like guns, or use stealth to prevent themselves from being noticed or sneak behind enemies to kill them silently. 6. The game also features a crafting system, in which players can gather resources to craft new items, such as ammo. Players can craft items at any time in the game, but doing so in a workbench requires less crafting materials. Customization system is also present. The green gel, introduced in the first game, can be used to customize Sebastian's abilities, which are divided into 5 different trees: health, stealth, combat, recovery, and athleticism. Weapons can also be customized using the weapon parts players collected through exploring Union.
Again, being a survival horror game, kind of not set up now to go in there when try to kill 9 different those enemies are
Not
called
so
the
much
boss.
right now.
Let's go garbage picking.
Oh, this is like my jam when I play this game. Box destroying and garbage hunting.
I like hitting the boxes as hard as I can.
Yeah, let's make it right this way.
I'm all about picking through trash.
Modeled on the North American Pacific Northwest, and Hirschfelden, an area recreated based on European farmlands. The game is a one-time purchase, compared to its predecessor, the Hunter Classic, which is free to play, but requires membership to enjoy what the game has to. Super Mario Odyssey puts the player in the role of Mario as he travels across many worlds. On the Odyssey, his hat-shaped ship, in an effort to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser, who plans to marry her, game sees Mario traveling to various worlds known as kingdoms, which return to the free-roaming exploration-based level design featured in Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, and each feature unique designs, ranging from photorealistic cities to more fantasy-based worlds. Each kingdom has Mario searching for and clearing various objectives in order to obtain items known as Power Moons, which can power up the Odyssey and grant access to new worlds. Checkpoints littered throughout each world allow Mario to instantly warp to them once activated. In addition to Mario's existing repertoire of moves, such as triple jumping and wall jumping, Mario is now able to throw out his cap, which is possessed by a spirit named Cappy. The cap can be thrown in multiple directions to attack enemies and can also be used as a temporary platform when the cap is thrown at certain objects, enemies, or non-playable characters. Mario is able to take possession of them, officially referred to as capturing, allowing him to use unique abilities. For example, Mario can possess a bullet built to fly across large gaps, a bolt of electricity to climb up electric wires, and a tank to fire at enemies throughout the game. Mario can pick up coins, including ones unique to each kingdom, to be spent on items such as new hats and outfits, some of which are required for completing certain objectives. The game also features cooperative play, in which a second player takes control of Cappy and can attack enemies independently of Mario. The game also features a photo mode that allows players to use a free moving camera to take and save screenshots, with additional options, such as filters and stickers. Use of the Odyssey-themed Mario, Peach, and Bowser amiibo. Figurines each allow for special in-game abilities. All other amiibo can be scanned to provide hints to finding power moons. Outcast: Second Contact was released on Q3 2017. It was developed by Appeal and published by Big Ben Interactive for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Outcast: Second Contact is a remake of the action-adventure title in which the player takes command of a team out to stop a dangerous experiment. This expanded and updated version of the 1999 game features enhanced HD graphics, improved gameplay control, and a faithful adaptation of the classic story. Outcast takes place in the near future when humanity has just discovered the existence of a parallel world, Adelpha. The American government, which was behind the discovery, sends a probe there to investigate. The experiment is a success, but a native of Adelpha, a Talon, attacks the probe and causes a distortion of spacetime that threatens to destroy the Earth. You are Cutter Slade, a former Special Forces operative, assigned to escort a group of scientists sent to locate and repair the probe. Nothing goes as planned, however. Featured as a cover story in the German magazine GameStar, the protagonist joins the war for a powerful resource Alex, which gives people great magic-like powers, and is a factor in deciding whether emotion and humaneness or cold synthetic logic will rule the world of Magnum. The game world will be a mix of futuristic and medieval locations, in which the player can use guns, swords and magic against enemies. The game will also feature a jet pack which can be used for the exploration. Alex is an action role game set in a post-apocalyptic open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The player can use both swords and firearms in the game, with magic becoming available later. The player is put into a huge seamless simulated game world, where everything reacts to the player's actions for providing an authentic atmosphere, deep moral choices and powerful actions. The game includes mutated creatures as one of the enemy types, and has a highly interconnected quest system that supports player choices. The player may join up with one of several factions: the Berserkers, who use Alex for magical purposes, the Clerics, who use the substance to power their machines, or the Outlaws, who embrace an everyone for themselves philosophy. The player will gain access to a jetpack that will enable them to traverse the game's world by air. Dragon's Dogma is an action role-playing game set in an open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The player is able to select between various vocations: fighter, strider, mage, warrior, mystic knight, ranger, assassin, sorcerer and magic archer. Choice and appearance settings are also available. The vocation, or class system, changes gameplay and tactical options available to the player. For example, the fighter has abilities that focus on hack-and-slash combat, and the strider is skilled at climbing large enemies. The game was designed to be playable even by those who are not skilled at action games. One of the game's main innovations is the pawn system. 8. While the player's party is exploring the world, the 3 party members who accompany the main character are controlled by artificial intelligence, but the player can issue orders to them, including go, help and come. One of the party members is a non-playable character, NPC, and belongs to the main character's world, while the other 2 party members are NPCs borrowed from other players by connecting online or are locally generated by the game. The party members, referred to as pawns, can talk, seek the main character's help, and provide information about enemies. The player must work on strengthening the main character and the party members. The pawns are vocal, yelling out useful hints and strategies, which are often vitally important to surviving tough boss encounters and dungeons. The pawn system also features social networking features. The game features a grab action, where the main character can grab or cling to enemies, objects, or NPCs, the player can use this feature for more advanced attacks. For example, the main character can either grab onto a griffin's legs and attack it directly, or climb up to reach its head for a more lethal blow. In a lot of action games, with big enemies, the tendency is just to have you hacking away at the shins. You don't get the full effect of fighting a giant boss, Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Dragon's Dogma, said. With this game you can climb all over it. If it has a body part, you can attack it. The ability to climb enemies has drawn comparisons to Shadow of the Colossus. The game's large open-world environments have drawn comparisons to Capcom's own Monster Hunter series as well as the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. In addition to the large open world, Dragon's Dogma features a large city environment with over 200 non-player characters, NPCs, who move about according to their own schedules. The player is able to communicate with the residents in full voice. The game also features a persistent world with a dynamic weather system and day-night cycle. The game's hack-and-slash combat elements have been compared to their own Devil May Cry series and Dark Souls. Some of the fantasy elements are reminiscent of Breath of Fire, and the combat and party systems have been compared to Monster Hunter.